Okay, Lee, looks like we're good to go on YouTube.
Okay, very good. You want to share the screen and I can go through want me to share my screen and do the presentation now?
Yeah, whatever you prefer. Just before you start, to anybody watching on YouTube, thanks for attending today's information open house meeting for the proposed zoning bylaw amendment for 57 Idylewylde Street. So yeah, Lee, if you want to share your screen yourself, that's fine, or I could share it for you, whichever you prefer.
Okay, let me know if you got any issues and I'll just run through this. As you'd mentioned, this is a zoning bylaw amendment application to facilitate a deeming bylaw, which is a little different from normal scenarios where you may have a consent or something following afterwards. So I am Lee White, representing the applicant, and I'm a registered professional planner in the province of Ontario, resident of Fort Erie, have done a lot of planning projects for about 25 years or so. So basically we have proposed to facilitate a subsequent application for a deeming bylaw to merge one existing lot and an existing part lot into one new developable lot for the construction of a single detached dwelling. So the existing parcel, referred to as 57 Idylewylde, consists of 3 full lots and 1 part lot of a previously approved plan of subdivision. This deeming sketch here, you can see this is the part lot. This is the full lot, which would be deemed to join them to allow the construction of a house on that property. The current property associated with 57 Idylewylde would be this part lot, this full lot, and then these 2 additional full lots over here where the existing residence is on the east side of those parcels. So severing off basically their side yard right here to allow room for a smaller single detached dwelling. So the existing parcel has that single detached dwelling and a substantial vacant side yard, which is where we would propose to build a 1-story dwelling. Here, this aerial right here, you can see here's the parcel right here as it's currently configured. That is, we have the 3 existing lots here, and then the part lot is on the far west side of this over here. So the existing house would remain. The 1 existing property line right here. So the 1.5 lots would be deemed right here to create a developable lot, which would allow us to put a single family residence right there. It would be a relatively small 1-story dwelling, anticipated to be owned and occupied by the residents of the existing house here that has been their plan for quite some time. Part of their retirement plan is to live here and then sever that off, sell this, and move into a smaller house as they aged. So our location is right here, sort of across the street from Goodness Grapes on Idylewylde, south of Gilmore. This is Sugar Bowl Park and Gilmore Lodge right here, just to put that into context. Here's some of the land uses that are within 120 meters of the proposed site. We've got quite a mixture of land uses, including this institutional uses, Sugar Bowl Park, Gilmore Lodge, St. Paul's Anglican Episcopal Church and Cemetery. We've got industrial uses with frontage on both High and Idylewylde right near this property, being harbor manufacturing and abatement technologies. Commercial development for Goodness Grapes, a winemaking facility right across the street. Vacant buildings, including the former Knights of Columbus Hall and the Fike Trading and Logistics Complex at the corner of Idylewylde and Gilmore. Just to the east, there is multifamily residential on Idylewylde, primarily to the west, closer to Central, and lower density residential, single detached dwellings and semis all along Idylewylde. Beyond 120 meters, there's additional multi-dwelling development to the southeast. That's quite a large multifamily residential apartment complex at that location. Our Lady of Victory, St. Michael's Roman Catholic Church to the southwest, commercial development, including creative dining by Angie Avondale, South Niagara Life Ministries, and other commercial development along Central Avenue to the west, and Fort Erie Public Library on the northeast corner of Central Avenue and Gilmore. Here's the zoning. You can see it sort of reflects that multiple use urban area here. Our site is currently zoned R2. There's a substantial amount of other zones in this area, including commercial, R3, a higher density residential zone, as well as RM2, so residential multiple, and institutional and industrial, all in relatively close proximity to our proposed site. This is the secondary plan for the south end. We're at the north end of the south end secondary plan area. It is low density, but again, you can see that there's the yellowy color for the residential. There's also commercial and medium density. That's where that RM2 zone is to the south, and institutional all over this area. Here's really what it comes down to: the zoning bylaw for deeming these two lots into one new developable lot. We have a couple of deficiencies from the normal zoning requirements. The one thing to point out is where we do comply: the front yard, rear yard, side yard on both sides, and the building height all do comply with the zoning. But where we would be deficient, there's a 15-meter frontage requirement. We would be at 11.43. The lot area requirement is 510 square meters. We're at 348.5 roughly. And the lot coverage, 30% is permitted. We are at 39.4%. So there are some variations to the zoning bylaw, but it does constitute infill and intensification, and in my opinion, good planning. So several planning justification report was prepared and gave consideration to all of these different planning policy documents, including from the provincial, regional, and local level. And that ends the presentation. Be prepared to accept any questions, or Daryl, you can go ahead and elaborate if you've got any further information that you would like to present. I can leave this scrolling through if you'd like. It'll cycle through. It also does have the necessary information right here for making public comments.
Oh, great.
So we can just leave this on to scroll through if you'd like, or you can go through your presentation if you think that there's anything that may have been missed.
Yeah, no, that was very comprehensive, and you basically covered everything I was planning on covering as well. I would just point out that consolidating the part lot in that one whole lot to form the development parcel actually brings those two lots into greater conformity with the zoning bylaw, because they are only 25. Well, the part lot's 12.5 feet and the whole lot's 25 feet. So those are significantly undersized, and this will actually increase the development parcel's compliance with the zoning bylaw. So I just checked the attendee area. I don't see any new attendees who have joined. So maybe we'll just bring Phil on for a quick moment here to see if he has any questions or comments. And Phil, I'm just going to promote you to a panelist. It'll give you a prompt, so you'll have to select to agree, and then we'll be able to chat and see you if you decide to turn on your webcam. Yeah, so Phil, if you wish to speak and unmute yourself, the button is in the bottom left if you're on a PC. I think if you're on a tablet or a phone, it might be at your top right.
Hey, Daryl, I may just add as a point of interest, I know that you had received a comment of a neighbor who potentially had some concern with regard to grading and drainage and those types of issues. But it is standard practice that the town would require before the building permit would be issued, a grading plan be presented, prepared by a professional engineer or licensed surveyor who will, and also the town will be reviewing it in their professional opinion to ensure that there won't be any substantial off-site drainage issues onto other properties, and it will be properly conveyed to the stormwater management system, the municipal system at the street.
Yeah, thanks, Lee. I actually sent a similar response over earlier today. I'll forward those comments over so you could see what was submitted. But so far that individual hasn't attended this meeting, so their concerns may have been satisfied. We'll see.
Yep. I can mute mine as well and just sort of stay here and let that thing scroll if you'd like.
Sure.
Yep.
So before we do that, Phil, did you have any questions or comments?
No, my only question's been the builder that were just keen to move forward on this project so we can put in our building permit so we can start construction before the end of the year. So I'm just hoping everything's good with anybody. Anybody's welcome to talk to me being the builder of this project. They can get my details off the town hall, and I would just like to move forward and find out when we can put in for a building permit. But thank you, Lee, for your professionalism today. It was perfect, and hopefully we can move forward from this point.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. And just so for your own knowledge and Lee's, so we have the public meeting, formal public meeting scheduled for November 8th.
Yeah.
So if we don't receive any more significant comments, we may try to submit that as an information recommendation report.
Yeah.
So we may get the decision by council on November 8th. So we'll see what happens there. I'll confirm that next week. We'll be putting the report together next week for November 8th. So I'll keep you both in the loop on that. The one thing I just wanted to point out is we are getting a lot of feedback from council on development, particularly in this area, but elsewhere throughout town. They are concerned with lot coverage. So one thing I would anticipate is you may get some feedback from council that they don't want to see that increase in lot coverage. Just something to keep in mind. We'll see what happens, but we have been getting that repeatedly on applications in this area and similar applications throughout the town. So just thought I'd let you know.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Phil. I think I'll move you back to an attendee. You could stick around if you want. Lee, did you say you planned on staying on as well, just muting yourself?
Yeah, I will just mute myself, and thanks again, guys, and I look forward to November the 8th.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll stick around till 6 o'clock and just leave this scrolling and sharing my screen.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll monitor the meeting as well as, and if anybody comes on, then I'll bring them on and see if they have any questions.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thanks, Lee.